Hello everybody. Today is Motivational Monday and I am sharing a devotion about getting rooted. And here in this video you're looking at the giveaway baby. This is Reborn Byron by Denise Pratt, and she is the giveaway reborn baby that I have for my 300 subscribers giveaway. So I thought that I would put her in the video since she's not going to be with me for very long, and this is a nice way to be able to remember her. And she does have rooted hair, so I thought that I would use her to focus in on while I am sharing this devotion with you today. And I just want to share this with you. In my journey in learning of reborning, rooting has been the most challenging and valuable lesson for adding value to the reborns. All reborns are sweet, and some look well with bald heads. But rooted hair either makes or breaks the overall image of the doll. I struggle with perfection, and so rooting is meticulous for me. I obsess over getting that one hair per follicle. And then, oh my goodness, these hairs that go in on an angle and does not go directly through to the other side or the inside of the head drives me insane. Seriously, it does. That reminds me of a parable in the Bible about the farmer scattering the seeds. Here, let me refresh your memory. I'll read Matthew chapter 13. That same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it, while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, a farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seeds fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. He who has ears, let him hear. The disciples came to him and asked, why do you speak to the people in parables? He replied, the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. This is why I speak to them in parables. Though seeing, they do not see. Though hearing, they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For this people's heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn, and I would heal them. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For I tell you the truth, many prophets and righteous men longed, many righteous men longed to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. Now there you are. The seed that fell on the path, the birds ate it up. Those among the rocks grew, but only had shallow roots and didn't last. Some fell among thorns and were choked. However, those that fell on good soil produced crop. This story or parable relates to our faith. How deep are the roots of your faith? You know, rooting hair has to be done well for the hair to be able to withstand the routine of styling and combing. There will be some hair loss because some hair don't even go in. Then there are the hair that go in but not deep enough, and so in a little while, maybe not right away, but they will come out. And my aim is to see each hair deeply rooted, and then I pack on the glue on the inside of the head to ensure they stay firm. Again, I ask you, how deep is your faith? Which seed are you? I found 4 lessons there. First, basically, looking at a human perspective and also spiritually. For number 1, you know, the scattered, wandering people of the world, like the seed that just, got scattered out into the pathway and the birds ate it up. You know, there's people who are wandering, aren't they? And they get snatched up by the wrong people. They get snatched up for the wrong purposes. And then I see the natural things that can destroy you. Like the seed that fell upon rocky places. There wasn't a whole lot of soil there, but the plants sprang up quickly, it said, because the soil was shallow. But you know, when the sun came up, which naturally is good for seeds and for plants, it helps them grow. But with these seeds, even the sun that naturally would help them and nurture them scorched them, and the plants withered. Why? Because they had no root. So, like us, I wonder sometimes about our faith, because sometimes our faith can be so shallow that even the natural things, the daily things that come into our lives and some may be pretty insignificant and trivial, they can destroy our faith. So, because our faith is not rooted deeply, then our spirituality decays quickly. And then the third part was the weeds. Oh, those weeds. It says that some of the soil fell among the thorns. But the thorns, they grew up and they choked those plants. Now, how often do we end up in the wrong places with the wrong company? And, these are not good things for us. And so what happens to our faith? It gets choked off. Our belief systems sometimes change. So these thorns, and we'll call weeds, they end up choking off our faith. And of course, the fourth one, the best lesson of all, is that the seeds that fell on the good soil, they produced crop. Not only a small crop, but they produced 160 or 30 times what was sown. And I in that little piece, I think about potatoes because it's amazing that, you put down one seed for a potato, but when you pull them up, there could be 5 or 6 potatoes under that one plant. And that was just a conversation that I heard my aunt and uncle having just recently. And he had pulled up some potatoes to see how they were doing, and they had only put in one seed, and I think out of 3 bunches that he pulled up, he had like 5 gallons of potatoes. Isn't that amazing? Basically, out of 3 potatoes, he got 5 gallons of potatoes. And so that just reminded me of that. How, if nurtured, if our roots are put down deep, if we have the right company, if we have the right kind of the right foundation, all the right sources, if we're nurtured properly, then we're going to have good roots, which means strong faith. And then we will be able to withstand all the elements. The sun that comes in and it threatens and scorches the plants that are not deeply rooted, but the rains will come, the wind will come, whatever comes into our lives, then we will withstand it. And so that is good, healthy faith. And so, of course, then, we think of Jesus and faith. Because it is the good soil to set down good, deep roots. Jesus and faith. So that you don't get lost in life. So that even the everyday natural happenings don't destroy you. Sun is supposed to be good to grow plants. But in this case, what happened? The sun destroyed the plant. The weeds, the thorns, we all have them in our lives. They choke the best of us. So we need to surround ourselves with good, supportive people who will lift us up rather than break us down. But most importantly is our faith, our trust. This is where our roots run deep. And the secret, the key, is first and foremost Jesus. And that brings me to the reason, once again, of why I started out writing this series of Reborning Faith devotions. As I spend all this quiet time rooting hair, yes, one hair at a time, I'm talking to God and spending important time with Him. My thoughts of such a task brings me to thinking of spiritual lessons from reborning. So I encourage you today, keep your faith. Nurture it. And get rooted. Thank you for joining me today for Motivational Monday, and may God bless you richly.